Hey there, guys. Welcome to another edition of Jesus in Less Than 5 Minutes. And I just want to take a few moments and just share with you about some of the things I've been reading out of the book of Exodus about Moses. And I know I shared briefly before, some of the things I've learned about him. And it's been really awesome because there's so many leadership training and leadership lessons in the book of Exodus, all the way through the whole books that were all about Moses and Israel. I know there's a name for that, and I forgot what it is, but it's really awesome. It's a beautiful thing, and I just I just been really digging on this stuff. I've been listening to it while I'm at work, when I go in the morning, and be able to listen to it there, and it's been a really beautiful thing. But I just want to share with you, Moses, as I said before, he didn't start out as this really awesome leader. He started out as a scared guy. He really didn't fit in with the Egyptians because he was Hebrew, and he really didn't fit in with the Hebrews because he'd been staying with the Egyptians. And so, he went out and he tried to fit in and everything else, but he ended up running. He ended up running from what he had done, and so he went out and found himself in a desert. And so you know the story from the last time I spoke about it. I love the fact when God introduced himself to Moses, it was awesome. It's a beautiful story, and I just really encourage you to really dive into it and read it. But I just want to read a few verses out of chapter 4, and it says that the Lord said to him, no, I'll back up. Moses said to the Lord, "Lord, I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue," which means he stuttered. He wasn't a man who could. He got nervous when he spoke to people who were in authority over him. And so, but the Lord said to him, "Who gave man his mouth? Who makes him deaf or mute? Who gives him sight or makes him blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go. I will help you. Speak, and will teach you what to say." God's telling him, look what's going on here. I can do this. But, Moses, he says, but Moses said, "Oh, Lord, please send someone else to do this." And I love the very next verse. It says, "Then the Lord's anger burned against Moses. And he said, 'What about your brother Aaron, the Levite? I know he can speak well. He is already on his way to meet you, and his heart will be glad to see you.'" And so, God was not going to let Moses out of this. And so it was an awesome thing. It was a beautiful thing because, God chose Moses. He's like, that is my man who's going to lead my people out of Egypt, out of captivity. And I'm going to show everybody what I can do with this man. What I can do with this broken man who is afraid, who doesn't have any self-confidence in himself. I'm going to show you what I can do with this man. And so we know the story how Moses went in there and he actually led the people out of Israel, and he all this stuff, he did exactly what God told him to do. And so it was really beautiful and awesome. When Moses died, the whole nation of Israel, they all wept for Moses. And in chapter 33, in verse 7, starting in verse 7, it says, "Moses was 120 years old when he died. Yet his eyes were not weak, nor his strength gone. The Israelites grieved for Moses in the plains of Moab for 30 days until the time of weeping and mourning was over with." And then skip down to verse 10. It says, "Since then, no prophet," talking about Moses, "no prophet has been seen or risen in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face, who did all the miraculous signs and wonders the Lord sent him to do in Egypt, to Pharaoh and to all his officials and to the whole land. And for no one has ever shown the mighty power performed, the awesome deeds that Moses did in the sight of all Israel." And that's the legacy of Moses right there. That's the legacy. That's the final chapter of Moses right there. That's what it was written about right there. It started out weak, but man, it came out strong. I'm talking about it came out freaking strong. And not only that, he passed off his leadership skills. He passed off what he learned from God to someone else. And that someone else was Joshua. And that was in verse 9. I skipped over for a reason because I wanted to go back to it. It says, "Now Joshua, the son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom because Moses had laid his hands upon him. So the Israelites listened to him and did all that the Lord had commanded Moses to do." And so we see that, Joshua, he was Moses' aide. He sat beside Moses. He learned from Moses. He did everything, he did everything Moses did. He learned from him, and God gave him the spirit, gave him the same spirit he gave Moses. And we see that God used Moses to lead Israel to this point before the promised land. And then he uses Joshua to take them into the promised land, who learned from Moses. He had all his leadership skills. And so, today, if you're in this place of saying, "I can't do this, I don't know how to do this," forget about that, man. Just trust God. God will get you through it. I promise you, He's going to get you through it, man. We all face difficult times. But, the great thing of it is, it's a time. It is a time. It's not, I love what Zig Ziglar says. Failure is not a person. It's not a person. It's not, it's not any of that. It's a moment. And so, but, success is a process. And so, just as Moses had to go through a process, we all have to go through the same thing. And so it's awesome. It's great. God loves you and He wants to see you. Man, I just encourage you to read the book of Moses, read the book of Exodus. Just read it and really just go through it, man, and just learn from it. And just, I can't say enough. And just do what God's called you to do, and you'll be successful. I promise you, you will be successful. And you just push right on through. But before I close out, I just want to share with you just a brief moment about the events of last week. It was a tragedy what happened in Connecticut. It's sad. There's really no answers to what happened, why it happened, and I'm not here to weigh in on what we should do, what we should have done, or what we should not do, or anything else like that. I'm here to ask you to pray for these families. Remember these families, because they really do need your prayers right now. And so right now, I just really urge you to take a moment each morning, or each evening, or both, and just lift these families up to you, because their life has changed now. They're going in a whole totally different direction in what they had planned for their life, and it's sad for an event to change their lives like this. So just take that moment and pray for them. God bless you guys, and I know I went over, but I will see you later. God bless you. Bye.